I love it. So, Angelyse,
Hello.
this happened. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here.
This is so good. So, tell me, what are you doing like right now?
I mean, other than doing this podcast at the moment, I'm just
Like, what's the song? Because I know I've heard a few of them, and
we're working on some new songs now. I'm trying to kind of discover like this new like phase of my life and like who Angelyse is through my music. So
Okay.
I'm just playing around with a lot of different sounds and styles of music. So you can expect something very soon,
Very
within like
soon?
the next month. And you'll hear something and it'll be kind of different from everything else that I put out before.
really,
Yeah.
ooh, now I'm intrigued. Like,
Yeah.
how different?
I mean, I think like the first couple songs that I have released currently, it's been more of like I was kind of dipping my toe in the water, figuring out, okay, how am I going to make a song myself? How am I going to, express myself through this? And now this new sound is more of like, okay, this is more edgy, more attitude.
Okay.
I think that's the best way to describe it.
All right, this is good. So, you feel like this is truly it's truly you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's still a process because I still haven't figured out yet, very clearly, like, who is Angelyse Mariah through my music. I think, it's still a work in progress, but I do think it's very much closer to me as the previous releases that I have
I
out.
so have to ask you because you said Angelyse Mariah.
Yeah.
So, who gave you that beautiful name?
Well, my mom was the one that came up with it. She like told me that she was like going somewhere. I think she was going to Disney World or something with family. On the ride back home, she just came up with it. She really liked the name like Angel. She liked it like she liked the name East, and she put it together. And then when I was born, I still didn't have my middle name yet. Mm-hmm. And at the time, my mom was very obsessed with Mariah Carey.
Okay.
And my dad's best friend suggested that my middle name be Mariah.
So, I'm assuming that she's still obsessed with Mariah Carey.
I mean, we love, like, it's Christmas time now.
Yes,
so
of
now
course.
it's Mariah Carey season.
Oh,
so
my God.
she's playing all the time now. My mom's always putting her on.
That is also so awesome. So, when did you start? When did you start singing?
Oh, gosh. I mean, singing well was
Singing
about
well?
10 years old. But I've always sang since I, like, could talk, I've always loved everything, the arts. But singing, I've always tried to sing. And I don't think I really got okay at it until 10 years old, and then after I got
So,
put into
like, you
vocal
can remember
lessons.
your first recital at school and things like that?
I mean, I definitely do not remember my first recital. I think my first recital was at 3 years old.
Oh, my God. So, you started really young.
Yeah, when I lived in Florida, my mom, she put me in ballet classes at the age of 3, and I think at the end of that year is when we had our first recital. So I don't remember that one.
Oh, my God. Okay.
But I remember very early ones, ones from first, second grade, fifth grade, third grade, like all of the
But this has been
years.
with you ever since. So, how was elementary school? Like, were you always singing, acting? Like, I think we all have a little dose of this, but you're doing it. So, how did that come into fruition?
I mean, in elementary school, it was more of just me kind of figuring out still everything. My parents just put me in almost every activity possible. Like, I did karate at one point. I did all the sports under the sun. I was in Girl Scouts. So it was more of kind of trial and error. But I did know that I, really enjoyed the arts. And that's something that I did, over summer camp. I did, like, the musical stuff there. Right. But, yeah, I mean, I was just going to dance after school, after practice for, like, another sport.
Right.
And then just, doing chorus.
So you kept this up because this is really what is in your heart.
Yeah, my parents knew that I naturally kind of gravitated more towards art really early. Like, they put me in, like, the advanced art classes really early on in school.
Right.
So they kind of knew, okay, like, yeah, this is something that she's, like, she's good at, sort of. So they kind of pushed me to do some stuff for that.
So can you remember, like, your first real opportunity?
What was my first? I think my first ever job that I booked, I was an extra for Boardwalk Empire.
Okay.
So that one was fun. It was my first TV set I've ever
How
been
old
on.
were you?
I was like 10, 11.
Wow.
Yeah, like around that age. And it was fun. I mean, we were playing like a scene in Cuba, but we were in New York, and it was like February or March, and it was still so cold. I was wearing like a little skirt, like I'm in Puerto Rico, and it's supposed to be hot, but I'm freezing, like in between takes, like running and get my coat. So that was the first experience. I met Steve Buscemi.
Okay.
It was fun.
So
Yeah.
what does that feel like? Like, how do you cope with that, being in school, you know, other kids? Was everyone like happy because you're like the famous kid, or?
Well, I mean, I don't know. In the beginning, I definitely was very excited, and I kind of, I was like 10, 11 years old. I wanted to tell my friends about it.
Right.
But then I kind of realized that, I don't know, people didn't really take it the right way, or they didn't really understand or like it. So I think people tried to be very passive aggressive with it towards me, or say things behind my back, or just try to say things to my face like that weren't the best, because I think, we were so young.
Elementary can be challenging as well.
Yeah, 100%.
How were your teachers and,
I mean, it was like 50-50. I mean, more people were supportive, so maybe 75, 25, 75% being positive, or like, not really caring, like, oh, that's cool, and then, just moving on. But there was just a few teachers here and there that weren't so nice about it.
Really?
Yeah,
like, how the hell you're not nice about it with a 10 or 12-year-old?
It was just weird. I think maybe because, I don't know, I think they just didn't understand it at the time. Like, the first time I remember somebody telling me something about that, like, oh, it's unrealistic or whatever. It was my third
bullshit.
It was I was in third grade. My teacher was the first person to tell me that, actually.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know. Then
is she still teaching?
She's still teaching.
Oh shit. Well, I hope that mom set her straight.
Yeah. It was like this whole thing. My mom, like, she said something to her because it was some, project for 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds at the time. Where do you see yourself in 20 years? I think it was 2023. Like, where do you see yourself for 2032? And I said that, I wanted to be a singer.
Right.
And she got mad at me, and she was like, oh, I told everybody this needed to be realistic. This is not realistic. She told the whole class, you have to do something realistic. I didn't change it. And then back to school night came, the parents came, and she said, I told everybody to do something realistic, and everybody did except for one person. And that was me. And then my mom
Weren't you happy that you were the one person that didn't do it exactly? And
my mom was mad.
Yeah. And went with your heart, right?
I mean, at the time, I was just, in my head, oh, like, I don't want to change it. But I was just like, it was nothing. I didn't think about it twice. I feel like most of the time when I was younger and people said something to me about it, I didn't really take it too hard.
That's good. Did your parents have anything to do with that? Because usually kids,
Yeah.
that's an age where your feelings could get crushed.
Yeah. It was definitely, there was definitely parts of it that were hard because no kid wants to kind of go through that.
Yeah.
I think it was worse when it came from people who I thought were my friends. I think that's what really bothered me the most. But my parents had always, been there for me, and I knew that. I think it was more because of them. I was okay. If my parents.
So how did
weren't
they?
putting me
So
down,
let's just play this out. You get home, maybe you're not feeling so good.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you tell first? Your mom or your dad?
my mom.
Okay.
100%. Usually, I tell her everything.
All right, that's really good.
Yeah.
So you guys are close.
Yeah, she knows my entire life. Like, even when I was at school or, like, and I was in the city, she just knew exactly what I was doing at almost every moment.
This is so good. So they kind of walk you through because, they knew that this was probably going to be tough growing up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, but you can say, well, thank God for it right now, right?
Yeah. I mean, they gave me the tough skin. I think also the industry did. I think really early on, I knew that it wasn't going to be something where it was like a cakewalk.
When did you know? When did you know it was like going to be hard?
Honestly, I think if I'm really thinking about it, it was probably first or second grade when I auditioned for the Brementown musicians at school, and they did not give me a lead part, and I freaked out, and I was like, dang, like they didn't give me the lead. Aww. And I was so upset, but then I eventually I got it, so it was okay.
So fast forward, let's talk to me about high school. How was that?
High school was fun. I mean, it was definitely so different. I went to a performing arts high school, so it was very much High School Musical.
I always wondered, what kind of high school is that? That means that you're doing something of the arts all day?
Well, not all day long, but there was, so every day we did have 80 minutes of, what our major was. So there was people that were theater majors, dance majors, technical theater majors, so people that do this on the other end, behind the scenes work.
Okay.
So every day for 80 minutes we do it, but sometimes with cycles and the way you change classes throughout the year, I'd be doing it for 160 minutes a day.
Okay.
So it was definitely super fun. I was a theater major, but it was High School Musical.
You always knew that it was going to be singing, or did you have that thought of maybe I want to be an actress?
No, I think it was both simultaneously. I want to be a triple threat, right? I want to do dance, acting, and music. So it was more of what's going to get me there first, So I'm still auditioning to this day, even though I'm making music.
So your ultimate goal is to be able to do a lot more.
Yeah. I want to do everything.
Okay.
If I'm really being honest, I'm a creative person. I think I want to just have, bits of fun in every area of,
what does
the entertainment industry.
Angelyse Mariah do for fun?
For fun? Yeah. Okay. I mean, the only time I feel like I'm just doing something for fun or just is just relaxing, honestly. I just love to relax. I love to do a lot of self-care.
Do you have a best friend? Do you have a boyfriend? Come on, we're digging.
Well, I mean, I have my best friend, Abby, who I've been friends with since middle school.
Oh, that is so good.
Yeah,
I love her. Because that person knows you and seen you grow up.
Oh, so. Yeah, and Abby's been through, with me for so many different things. I even wrote, Bad Advice is about her.
Oh, my God. I love that song.
Yeah, Bad Advice is about her. So I just, she's somebody who's, my ride or die. She'll do, she's always there for me. And then, I have a boyfriend currently.
Okay.
And he's a producer. He owns a studio. So it's great, I think this is my first real, relationship where I feel we connect on so many different levels. We're both creatives. I've never had that before, so it's great.
That must be really good. Yeah. Because it's someone that knows what you're going through.
Yeah, understands. And I think because he knows it, he's able to support me, way more in a different way. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
That is so good. So tell me, what's your favorite artist?
Favorite artist is
that's so hard asking someone that is so talented. Now you have to tell me what's your favorite.
There's so many great people and it's really hard to just say one, but I think the artists that I kind of know the most about and I've been following very closely for a while, currently I want to say K Tronada. He's a DJ from Montreal. I love him. He's one of my dream artists to collaborate with. But and I think the second artist that I do know the most about and I still follow closely, even though I'm not as big of a listener as I used to be, is Ariana Grande. I used to be obsessed with her,
singing her music and singing her songs.
Middle school me wanted to be her.
But you knew you had to be Angelyse Mariah. That's so good.
She's what inspired me to I've always wanted to be in the music industry, but she's what inspired me to be I want to be a pop star. All
right. So who's that person? We're just going to call them out there. Who's that person that you would love to collaborate with?
Okay. Yikes.
That's it. This is it. This is your moment.
All right. I think just I want to say Pharrell. Pharrell.
Yes.
Just anything he touches with music and just the way that he produces, it would be an honor to like have a song, you know, like made by him for me.
And you write as well, correct?
Yes.
Like, I find that so astonishing that, you know, I think that I've met people that start singing, but you also write. So Pharrell, Angelyse Mariah is here waiting.
Pharrell, call me up.
Yes,
whenever
hit her up.
you want. I will be at the studio. I'll fly to LA if you
That's
need me
right. And your parents will definitely get her on the phone.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I think that this is just, you know, I love the fact that you're living your dream. And I want to touch on this because there's so many parents sometimes that are not as supportive. So after high school, you went to college. What college was it?
I went to Pace University.
Right. You went to Pace University. And how did you manage to still work and go to school?
So honestly, it was just more of, I was trying to get my foot back out there. After COVID, everything kind of slowed down a lot for the entertainment industry. And when I went to school, it was just more of, okay, I need to get back on the scene because things are moving so much slower, so I have to try to make it happen for myself. I was living, you know, in the financial district in Manhattan, so I was just trying to go to dance classes and try to meet some people. Auditions are all like self-submit now, so you're not going in person. I was filming them in my dorm. My roommates were recording.
So you were filming, recording, and then submitting them.
Yeah, I had to have somebody read the lines. I had to have somebody like hold the light and my phone, and I'm just like in my dorm room trying to do it.
So did you have some doors open?
Yeah, 100%.
That's good.
I want to say definitely in the dance department because when I moved to the city, I didn't dance for the past 5 years prior to that.
Okay.
So, you know, in the dance world, doors open. I got on a dance team.
I've seen you. You can dance.
I can boogie a little bit.
Yeah, I've seen you. So what would you say to that young artist? Right? Is it a struggle?
Oh, 100%. If you're not willing to put work into it, you know, it's really not going to go anywhere if you don't want it, it's not going to happen. Like, you need to want it. Like,
really bad.
There's no other option for me. I don't have any other option. It's because I know for a fact in my heart, like, I will die without fulfilling this dream. Like, just my soul.
Oh my God, that's so touching.
I can't do anything else. You know, I don't have an option.
It's okay. I think that's exactly where you need to be.
Yeah,
to be able to fulfill any dream.
Yeah, 100%.
And I ask you that because, you know, people might see you here looking all beautiful and, you know, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
So tell us, do you wake up this way or what do you do on the days that you don't have to be on a podcast or go and sing and, you know, be in front of people?
I'm in like a very big like self-development stage right now in my life. I think because I'm going to be turning 20 in a couple months and I'm on this new journey of like trying to better myself, to find myself through the music and really solidify my identity. So on the days that I'm not doing anything and I'm free, I like to, you know, wake up, try to meditate, manifest. I'll read some books. I'm reading 2 books currently.
What are you reading? I was just going to ask you.
So currently, I'm reading How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Wow. Okay. So who told you to read that book? Because that book gets passed around.
Yeah, multiple people have. Like my parents both have read it.
Awesome.
They had a copy in the house, and my boyfriend's read it before. So, you know, they all told me, like, you have to read it. So I was like, okay. And then the other book that I'm reading, I forgot what the exact title is, but it's just a songwriting book, like, you know, to better it. But I usually do that, and I'll go to the gym. And I just like to, I'm, like, very neat. I love when my room's, like, super clean. So if I'm not doing anything, I'll probably just clean up my room, like, more than I usually do.
Well, I guess mom is probably really happy.
I'm just like, I don't know, secretly I think I'm just an old lady inside, because when I was little I would do the same thing. Yes, I would do the same thing. I'd be like 10 years old, coming home from school, lighting a candle, playing my little music, reading a book, and like knitting or crocheting and drinking tea.
So good.
I don't know why I would do that. I don't even go out on the weekends.
So let me ask you, what do you say to any of those little girls that are aspiring to be you right now?
Keep going. And when you're in the thick of it and you're in the middle of your journey, you're going to look back and you might think, you know, what am I doing? Or I'm not getting anywhere. There's no progress happening. But you just have to keep going, and you have to have faith, and you have to be so strong in, you know, your goals in your mind that it's almost a delusion at this point. Like, you have to be delusional about your dreams so much that nobody can tell you no. Literally no one.
That is awesome. That is really beautiful.
Like, is it? I'm like, I feel like I live in a dream in my head, and I'm living my life 5 years from now currently.
I think that, you know, that's really important, because there's so many kids that are impacted by teachers, by coaches. And, you know, sometimes we all want to think that everyone is being impacted in a positive way.
Yeah.
And as you said, you know, you weren't. And where would you be right now if you would have listened?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
to that one negative person.
Right.
I'm just going to say.
Right. I don't know. Like, I honestly don't understand how I was able to kind of just block it out, or just like, ooh, it doesn't even bother me. It had to be because of the fact that I started working early. That's the only explanation I have. I think I really understood that, you know, these people don't understand, and I'm not going to be mad about it, because there's just a whole other world out there that they've never experienced. I was going to New York City all the time, and I saw all the different stuff, and I think I was just more tolerant to, I don't know, people having different interests. So it didn't really, you know, affect me as much, because I was just like, you know, they don't understand, you know.
I think that you don't give yourself enough credit. I think that you're just a go-getter, and you knew that you wanted this.
Yeah, this is the first thing I knew about myself. I did, like, before I could even identify, maybe I probably knew my favorite princess or favorite color beforehand. But
now you brought it up, so who was your favorite princess?
Oh, Princess Jasmine.
Oh,
I was obsessed with her. I wanted my name to be Jasmine.
Oh,
so bad.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you should think about, you know, you're going to be able to have the opportunity to have a doll.
Hopefully.
And, you know, Angelyse Mariah is a really good name.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be cute one day, like little dolls. I would also love to play like Belle from Beauty and the Beast. Like, that is one of my dream things to do, like on Broadway.
Disney.
Yeah.
I love this. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you
know,
so
just
much.
inspiring. I'm all about women empowerment, and I think that, you know, we all need someone. Sometimes you wake up and you don't feel it.
Yeah.
And just to have that one person that you can be like, okay, she's doing it, I could do it.
Right, right. Yeah, like, I always say this, if you rely on, like, your motivation to do stuff, you're never going to get anything done. Because you know how many times I'll wake up and just think, like, I don't want to do any of this, or like, I don't even want to go to the studio today, or I don't want to.
You need something greater.
I don't want to go to the gym. But you have to be just, you know, you have to want something greater. You know, you have to work towards something and just keep going, even though if you don't feel like it.
Exactly. Well, I can't wait to hear your next song, and I know it's going to be different, but I do love your songs now, so I'm kind of anxious now, waiting to see what's it going to be like. Is it going to be rock or something like that?
Oh, no, it's not going to be
I just
rock.
want to know.
I mean, I've actually written on, like, a rock song, like, not too long ago, so you might hear, like, my voice pop up in somebody else's song. But other than that, no, I mean, it's just more attitude. I think it's just a little bit more edgier. I think the best way to describe it is just like Ariana Grande meets Rihanna meets Doja Cat.
Nice.
It's that crossover.
Okay. So where can people find you?
You guys can find me on all social media platforms: TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Apple Music, Spotify,
okay,
SoundCloud.
Where are you killing it? Where are you killing it?
TikTok.
Oh,
you guys can follow me on TikTok at Angelyse Mariah. So
I love it. All right. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right.